Scooby-Dooby, Scooby-Dooby-Dooby, Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby, Scooby-Dooby-Dooby, Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo. Dear diarrhea full of shit. Just play along with myself and I, no one else. Legit. Figured I'd do the side of your presentation right now, so if I decide to do one tonight, which I was, it won't end up being 20 fucking minutes. You know, you remember Dear Online Family and Friends? You did so good, Joe. Where I was supposed to get a load going to Nebraska, and then the thing is, I was going to get a load going to South Dakota after that. You know, it's going to keep me out of the cesspool for a few days, but they're really behind. And I think what's going on is, you know, they're telling my company that the load is ready when they know good and goddamn well it isn't. So the people who are in charge of scheduling are not talking with the people who are in charge of loading. Now they do this for two reasons. It's either just they don't give a fuck, because the company who employs me is the one who loses out. They send a driver, they pay him for those drivers, they pay him for that time, they lose those miles, that fuel, that time. The driver can opt to wait around for an hour or so if he wants, or he can say, bullshit, get me a load out of here. But it's, you know, it's no big deal off of the shipper who does this. You know, they're just like, fuck it, just turn the driver around. But that seems to be the norm. And I remember talking to a guy who does some stuff and whatnot, and he was like, yeah, this was up. So, you know, they either just don't give a fuck, which is a very real possibility, or it's too much of a problem to rework the system. You know, the system, the computer system that keeps track of, you know, when things are supposed to be done is not jiving with, you know, what's actually going on. But, you know, the people who wrote the program, you know, are smart, you know, and it's, you know, they're under 30 and have college degrees, and it would be way too much of a problem to rewrite the system. The system was designed to work a certain way, and it was not designed, you know, to handle if, you know, things get behind schedule. It is not an adaptive system. You know, it's a very brilliant system. It's very, you know, it does all this stuff, and you can even change the size and color of the font. Woo! But yeah, not very practical, you know, if it doesn't follow the one thing, which is odd, because computer people seem to have an answer for, you know, if it's a problem that shouldn't exist, if it's a problem that isn't a problem, but the reason it's a problem is because it's a problem in and of itself, the thing there's no problem. The problem is, you know, the system has fucked itself. The system has fucked itself. It has sat down, it is pouting, it is in a bad mood, it is throwing a tantrum, it threw its ice cream cone against the wall. The system is not happy. That's the only time there's a problem. And then usually computer people are like, well, maybe you gotta try scooping a different flavor ice cream. Well, maybe you gotta clean up the ice cream first. And then you gotta steam clean the spot, and then repaint the wall, and then you gotta remake some new ice cream, and then scoop it, but in a different type of cone, and, you know, and they're real good when it comes to shit like that.
5 miles, turn right for minute.
But anyway, pardon my enthusiasm. But, so the system, you know, blah, and I got a load, and I was all, oh, yeah, over there, yeah, this, that, and the other, yeah, you know, I was kind of bitching a little bit, you know, and do that, you know, because, you know, I don't care, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, oh, yeah, you get your hopes up, it's going to get me out of the cesspool, leave these crabs to their bucket, you know, and I'm saying all this negative shit, right? Because I'm such a hater, you know, somebody might hear that and be offended. Are you saying I'm a crab in a bucket? Yeah, you are, asshole. Yeah, you are. But, I don't know, are you? I don't know you. I'm not saying you are, but there's a lot of crabs in, you know, in a bucket. So, I'm not talking to you personally. If you want to take it that way, that's on you. So, you know what I mean? I don't care, man. But, I mean, be couth about it. They'll be like, what do you know about it? You know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm talking to you. I might be. I don't know you any more than you don't know me. So, but I know what I see out there. If you're among them, well, then you're part of the crabs in the bucket. But, fuck you. You know? I do that quite a bit. I kind of skirt that topic. Like in that meeting that one day. Yeah, computer people are a different breed, man. Talking to the guard shack, about that stuff. That came up. You're not a computer person, are you? You don't know any? I said that to Little Miss Poop Emoji too. You're not a computer person, are you? Good, we can still be friends. You know what I mean? For all I know, one of the managers in the background could have a son or daughter who's going to college to be a computer person, Well, fuck you, I'm sorry to hear that. So, been throwing that around a lot lately. You're not a computer person, are you? You don't know any? Okay, good. Something goes wrong. Yeah, these damn computer people. You're not a computer person, are you? Or you know anybody? Okay, good. One of these days I'm going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person. Well, fuck you. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry about that. I make no apologies. I've reached that point. Done. But I had another, I don't know, a little mini psychic episode, psychotic episode. I thought of this place that I hadn't been to in a minute that's very peaceful. It's a peaceful drive. It's a peaceful area. It's down and it's actually technically in Superior, but to get there you got to drive through Broomfield. And I was thinking about that, I don't know, a couple days ago. And bada bing, bada boom, they sent me down there. And I haven't been there in probably like, I don't know, a year and a half-ish, something like that. I don't know. So driving through Broomfield, it's a nice, peaceful place, man. There's a guy selling water. He's at least got it in a cooler with ice. I thought, shit, man. But Anything-furmuh-boo. I don't think you spend much time up here. When you come to Colorado, your place which you hail from is actually Colorado Springs. But, I live out in the sticks, but I live close enough to Denver, where it's, cool. And I live close enough to a big town. And I live like 7 minutes away from a town with a gas station and a Dollar General and, a pharmacy and, there's stuff there. But as I said, I grew up in the burbs. They were starter burbs. And Broomfield is definitely more upper class. There's more money in Broomfield than Westminster. But, I would never, if you wanted, as I've said, those two cities would be a good place to raise a family, right? To live. The people are generally more higher caliber, right? And I would never live anywhere else in the city, right? Because I've lived, a few different places here and there. But just for the sake of argument, if you wanted to, if you had your mind set on suburban life with, a lawn and sidewalks and neighbors, and stuff like that, I would consider it. I would think about it for probably a couple days before I delivered to you my conclusion of what we were going to do, as a family. We're starting a family. I'm not saying I would ever live there by myself, but if you wanted to, that would be like my excuse, like, okay. And I think you would probably want to live in Broomfield before you'd live in Westminster, but, that would be, a good second choice. But like I said, I'd kind of secretly or not so secretly kind of like to trade up one of these days and do the, 200-acre hay farmer thing. But I'd want to, have an area, because I like you did so good, Joe. I'm a macho, manly, burly boy, but I'm also kind of a bitch because I like living next to not only my mommy and daddy, but my sister. It just sort of worked out that way that we all live near each other, and I like that idea. Plus, it's a practical thing, when you and I have kids, like I said, my grandparents, babysitters, and they wouldn't mind. Like I said, my nephews are getting older, they're like 12, 10, and 6 or 7, so you and I get married, and, oh shit. Our golden boy, decided to get married. This just sort of happened out of left field all of a sudden, And, oh, by the way, she wants kids. So, Grandma, Grandpa, hope you're ready for, 2 to 5 more grandbabies. Better take your vitamins. Get plenty of rest. More grandkids are on the way. Doesn't it sound so glorious and shit? Ooh, I can't wait. So anyway, the babysitter thing would be out of the question, but God, it's so nice, you know. Plus, it's nostalgic because, I mean, you know, I used to bum around there, you know. I used to kind of live in that area. My friend lived there, you know. It's pretty much where I grew up, kind of in the Westminster, Broomfield area. So it's been like forever since, you know, those were my stomping grounds. But those were kind of my stomping grounds, you know what I mean? So it's very, it tugs on my nostalgic strings. So just so you know, it's like that song from the Cottonmouth Kings, one of their original ones. Suburban life, so pretty and clean. Blah, 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 blah. I like living out in the country. Broomfield and Westminster, it's far enough out of the smog, you know, and like I said, higher caliber people. So the things I do for you goes in the boo. Start thinking about where you want to live. Because like I said, I would never live there on my own. I wouldn't make the choice to live there. But if you wanted to, oh, I suppose. What you're probably thinking, so is that some sort of like secret way, you know, you're putting you kind of like to live there, but you don't really want to live there enough to actually like do it, so you need me to make the decision for you? Nope, that's not what I'm saying at all, woman. I'm just saying the things I do for you. I mean, will.